Right. So before we talk about the hub and spoke implementation, let's see the SD-WAN topologies. What all topologies we have it. So the first one is the topology overview. Okay. So here, so we'll try to understand the topology overview. Okay. So the first type of topology is a full mesh implementation. Okay. What is going to happen in the full mesh implementation? Okay. So the branches, so which are onboarded with the same tenant, the branches which are onboarded in the same tenant. So there's going to be the point-to-point tunnels between all the branches which are coming up with the same tenant. Okay. So this one, so if I look at these branches, so if all the branches are onboarded with a full mesh, what is going to happen? There is a point-to-point tunnels between all the branches. Okay. Right. So when it comes to the full mesh scalability, so yes, it's a very simple configuration. There is no much change in the configuration part when it comes to the full mesh. Okay. It supports thousands of sites, of course. So it is going to support it, as we see that the tunnels limitation as of now is 4096 tunnels. Okay. But so the problem here is more number of tunnels. So there is little complex, so which is going to happen in the network. That's for sure. As well as so the SLA probing, the moment the tunnel is up between the branches, the moment the tunnel is up between the branches, the SLA probing is going to happen across all these branches. With help of SLA probes, what the branches are going to do, the branches are going to get the health of the WAN circuit. The branches are going to get health of the WAN circuit. Now, so the moment the tunnels are created between the all the branches which are in full mesh, the branches will start doing the SLA probing to each and every branch. As the branches are using the WAN circuits in order to do the probing, what will happen? There is a increased bandwidth if there are more number of tunnels. This is so one so disadvantage if I go with a full mesh implementation. In the full mesh implementation, okay, the devices. So in order to go with a full mesh, so this is the requirement. The first one is the branches which are onboarded, so will be part of same tenant. Will be part of same tenant. And in order to establish the tunnel, what is the prerequisite? As we know that the transport domain should be same between the branches. Okay, so the branches should be onboarded with the same tenant, and the branches. So if they want to have the tunnel, the transport domain should be the same. Okay, so now. So all the devices must be discoverable, making sure that they have the common transport domain. So that enables the tunnel binding between all the branches. So the Versa private node advertisement information, so between all the branches. So the LAN routes, so from all the nodes must be discoverable and making sure that it is reachable via the LAN VRs. What is going to happen in the full mesh implementation? So the branches will try to establish the tunnels across each and every branch, and they start advertising their LAN networks. If I go to any branch, I could able to see all the LAN networks which are connected in the entire infrastructure. Okay. So technically speaking, what will happen in the full mesh implementation? By going to the workflows, you'll try to decide the data plane. Okay, so this is the decision making. How your data plane should be connected. So under the workflows, this is the decision making. By going to the device type, you are going to select either it is a full mesh or it is going to be the hub and spoke implementation. So this makes the difference. Okay. So with help of this device type in the full mesh, what is going to happen? So the devices which are going to be part of the full mesh, they are going to get some routing policies. What is that routing policies? So one is export routing policy, the other one is import routing policy. Okay, what does this export routing policy do and import routing policy do? Export routing policy, the connected LAN networks will get advertised. Okay, Versa advertisements so will be happening. Versa private family advertisements will happen. What is the import policy? Whatever the remote sites, they are advertising their LAN networks and they are advertising their Versa private family. What they will try to do? They will just try to accept it. The branches will try to just accept it. There is no filtering that is going to happen in full mesh implementation. By default, there is export policy which tells that advertise the LAN routes, and advertise the Versa private families. The import policy tells that accept every land road and accept every Versa private advertisement. Due to that, the branches are able to discover all the connected devices which are part of same tenant. The branches able to discover all the LAN networks connected on the branches. Right. So if you look at this BGP configuration, what is this BGP configuration? I'm going to the control VR BGP instance, BGP peer, which is coming for the controller. So it is telling that allow all, allow Versa private family. Accept all Versa private routes and accept all MPBGP routes. So this advertisement, so which is related to the overlay tunnels. Okay, this advertisement which is related to the LAN networks. Okay, so on the full mesh, there is no restriction that is going to happen between the branches.
One question actually.
Yes. Good.
In hub and spoke topology, there are two kind of options. Like one branch want to communicate with the other branch, then as per standards, he can talk directly. And second option is he has to talk via the controller or root reflector.
Yes.
That generally we know. So if I take the first consideration, spoke branches can communicate together. Okay, then I think it is the case, then it is no difference between its direct spoke communication or this full mesh communication.
No,
So
we
both
are
are
about that deeper. Okay, so the full mesh, it has a different options, and spoke to spoke direct will have a different option. We'll see that. So there is
I'm not asking about options actually. Options maybe the specific. What is the general difference
so general difference here.
between hub and spoke and full mesh?
Okay.
And considering the both flaws of the hub and
I
spoke
totally
communication.
understand. Like let's say branch 1 to branch 100. Okay, so if I try to mention branch 1 to branch 100 as a full mesh, what will happen? So between each and every branch, there is a tunnel. So instead, branch 1, I'll make it as a hub. So branch 2 to branch 10, I'll make it as a spoke to spoke direct. So branch 21 to branch 100, I'll make it as a spoke to spoke via hub. Okay, you get this granularity.
Yes.
Branches, if I just mention it as a full mesh, everyone able to communicate by default. There is no restriction.
Yes.
If I go with a hub and spoke, you have a granularity. Which branches should communicate directly? Which branches should communicate via hub? You have this complete granularity that you are working on the full mesh.
Then B2 to D10 communication in itself is a kind of full mesh connectivity.
Yes, of course. So spoke to spoke direct, which is all as good as a full mesh. But there are some differences. We'll talk about that. Okay, there's a separate topic we are going to talk about.
Yeah, so when you form this kind of partial mesh and full mesh designs, right? Is it can we form separate ones for each LAN we have, or it's going to be common for that branch?
No.
So the branch
Routing instance level.
Sorry?
It is on the routing instance level. One LAN VR could be spoke to spoke direct. The other LAN VR could be spoke to spoke via hub.
Okay.
It is reflected at the LAN VR level.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So now look at the advertisements, look at the acceptance from the branch peers. Okay, the branch peers import policy tells that accept every Versa private route, accept every MPBGP route. There is no restriction of it. But whereas, so when you look at the redistribution policies or the LAN VR configuration, what is going to happen? They are going to come up with a default VRF package. Okay, so the route redistributions. No, that's what, when it comes to Versa, you don't need to really change something to the control plane, something to the data plane. Okay, so the control plane, we never configure VXLAN, we never configure ESP, we never configure MPBGP connections. Okay, so we never change anything related to the routing policies. In the data plane, we just select it as a full mesh or hub and spoke. Okay, so here as well, it is totally decided. The topology is totally decided with the help of routing policy. By default, there are some routing policies. You just leave it alone so that whatever the data plane you wanted to construct, that data plane will be getting constructed automatically. Right, so when it comes to the configuration of the LAN VR, here we got a LAN VR instance type is a VRF. Okay, so virtual router and forwarding instance. Okay, what is a VRF target? What is the RD information? So this is auto configured RD, auto configured VRF import and then export. Okay, so then instance type is a VRF instance. We don't need to do that. Branch, so the director will automatically take care about this configuration that has to get pushed to the branch. Right, so now, so when it comes to the export policy, what is the export policy related to the LAN networks? Related to the LAN networks. So only the directly connected routes will be advertised into the MPBG. Okay, so which will include the VR, so the route target, and then route distinguisher information, which is nothing but the VPN route, which is nothing but the VPN route. Right? So this already we discussed in the previous topic. Only the directly connected networks will get advertised. If it is OSPF, then I need to go to the policy and add the new term and select the protocol, whether it is a OSPF or static, and select the action called accept. Right, so when it comes to the spoke to hub, okay, we got 3 different flavors. The first one is spoke to hub only implementation. The second one is spoke to spoke via hub. And the third one is spoke to spoke direct. So we got 3 flavors here: spoke to hub only, spoke to spoke via hub, spoke to spoke direct. So as of this topic, let's concentrate on spoke to hub only implementation. Now what will happen in the spoke to hub only implementation? Okay, so who is the decision maker? Who is the decision maker to decide the data plane tunnels? Is it a controller, or is it a director, or is it the branches? On the director, you are going to make the configuration changes, that's for sure, but the spokes and the hubs are going to be the decision maker. What type of topology we are going to construct? We'll just select in the director, but the policies gets created in such a way that the spokes and hubs will try to construct the topology based upon our requirement. Right, so look at what is going to happen in the spoke to hub only. What will happen? The spokes will have tunnel only towards the hub. The spokes will have tunnels only towards the hub. Now the spokes will receive the networks of only hub. The spokes will receive the networks of only hub. Okay, so there is no other routes which will be available on the spokes until unless hub is not going to act as a gateway. There is no other routes which will be available at the spokes. Okay, right. So what is going to happen? The export policy, the spokes will be the same way it is going to advertise it. So the routes are advertised to all the devices. But what is happening at the spoke side? The spoke devices are configured to reject all Versa private routes which are matching with a branch community. Right, so this is very important. So whenever you are going with a hub and spoke implementation, whatever may be the flavor, either spoke to hub or spoke to spoke via hub or spoke to spoke direct, how the decision is going to happen, it is based upon this. So the BGP communities, it is based upon the communities the topology is getting created. And as well as the VRF targets. Okay, the VRF targets. So whether they wanted to accept it or not with help of this community, with help of this extended community, the topology is going to get created. Now if I go and verify here, the routes advertisements are going to happen to all the devices, but what is happening at the spokes? The spokes are configured to reject all Versa private routes which are coming up with a branch community. All MPBGP routes that have the branch VRF target community. So with the help of these 2 options, they are going to restrict the routes. So now if I go with in detail about this, so the hub and then the branches, what will happen on the hub and spoke, hub routes? Okay, whenever you are making a device as a hub, what is going to happen? There is a separate VRF target that gets created. So there is a separate set of routing policies that gets created, and there is a different VR in the name of export VR will get created. We'll see that in the next topic. Export VR will get created. The moment you select one of the devices as a hub, VRF targets will automatically get created, and then routing policies will automatically get created in such a way that to accept the route or to reject the routes which are coming from the spokes.
When
And
you say we don't receive the spoke route, is it also not going to receive the other spokes, band routes, and PTVO details, those kind of details, including the land
it's
routing?
going to be the reject.
Reject, including the van routes.
Yeah, van. The van routes in the sense you're talking about
Say that transport VR routes, control VR routes, everything, or only the land routes. What it is going to reject?
you're talking about the overlay IP addresses, Ganesh. The
Okay.
overlay IP addresses, right? The transport VR routes, it's not about transport. The overlay, what we call it as node advertisement.
Okay. So this policy is being applied on the overlay, right? So it's gonna be only in land VR routes.
Yes. So
Okay.
the node advertisement. So typically you need to think about in this way: node advertisements and then land routes. Okay, land routes in the sense the land routes. Node advertisements is the overlays. In the hub and spoke implementation, the spokes are configured in such a way that both node advertisements and then land routes will be rejected.
Okay.
Okay, both overlay IP addresses as well as the land routes will be rejected.
Okay.
So here, if I look at here, okay, the spokes are advertising it. Now what is going to happen? The spoke routes, so the rules are configured in such a way that on the spokes, only the community matching with the hub will be accepted and the community matching with the spokes will be rejected. Okay. So the moment you make one device as a hub, it comes up with a unique VRF target community. What is going to happen? This VRF target community is not blocked by the branches. That's not going to happen. Now, so the moment you make it as a hub comes up with a unique Versa private community. Whatever the advertisements hub has to do for the Versa private community, the spokes are configured to accept the hub Versa private routes. Apart from these two, the spokes are never going to accept the routes which are received from the spokes. Okay. So if I look at the route flow here, so just an example, this will make it more clear. I have branches, branch 101, which is acting like a hub, branch 102, branch 103. Branch 102 is trying to advertise its node advertisements and then land routes. Okay, node advertisements, which is happening with Versa private family, LAN advertisements, which is happening with MPBGP routes. Okay, right. So now, so it is updating towards a Versa controller. What is the job of the Versa controller? It is going to flood. Okay, so the routes flood to all the devices through Versa controller. Okay, controller has updated that information towards the hub and as well as towards the branches. Now, what will happen at the branch 103? What will happen at branch 103? Branch 103 spoke discards the node advertisements coming from branch 1, which is nothing but branch 102. So due to this, what is going to happen? There is no transport tunnel created between the branch 102 and then 103. Okay, branch 103 spoke discards the L3 VPN routes which are matching with the default VRF target between the branches. All the branches which are part of the tenant, they come up with the default VRF target. Now the branches are configured in such a way that it is going to discard all the L3 VPN routes which are matching with this default VRF target community. Now what is happening at the hub side? Hub is going to accept everything. It is going to accept the node advertisements as well as LAN advertisements. Due to that, what is going to happen at the hub side? There would be a direct tunnel between branch 102 and then hub. And there will not be any communication between 102 to 103. Now what will happen if hub is advertising it? If hub is advertising something towards a controller, okay, the node community is unique. Okay, so now as we make the hub comes up with some default communities. Okay, these communities are going to be unique. The branches are not going to restrict anything related to the hub communities. And as well as whenever it is trying to advertise some LAN networks, the LAN VRF target community is also unique, so that the branches are configured in such a way that it is matching to this target community, okay, and accepting the routes. Right, so here, so the ultimate goal of this spoke to hub, what is going to happen in the spoke to hub? I am concentrating on branch 102. Branch 102 has got the local network and it has got the LAN Z, which is nothing but hub network. Branch 103, it has the local network LAN B and LAN Z, which is nothing but hub network. When I go and verify it on the hub side, LAN Z, which is nothing but the local IP address. Okay, LAN A, so which is nothing but branch 1, and LAN B, which is nothing but branch 2. Just a minute.
Sorry, where is this kind of the uh, what is the use case and where this kind of the setup is used if we want to communicate between the spoke to spoke?
No, this is not the spoke to spoke, right? It is only spoke to hub.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know where it is used.
No. It is the one of the widely implemented, Prakash. Okay. So now I can tell that whatever the projects we are currently holding, it's all only the hub and spoke. There is no way spoke to spoke communication. Okay. All the spokes will only communicate towards the hub.
But if spoke to spoke want to communicate, then
yeah, we have other option.
Yeah, that
option, right? So this is only the spoke to hub. All the spokes will communicate towards the hub.
Okay.
Right. So now assume that.
Assuming that LAN Z, right? The LAN Z, that if that was a default route, if we are advertising default route, still we can achieve. The hub can do a hairpinning, correct? In this topology.
Next
but communication will not happen, no, between.
No, Prakash. Now, so if I don't want to go with other flavors, spoke to spoke direct or spoke to spoke via hub, what is the next step we can do is hub, we can make it as a SD-WAN gateway.
No, I mean communication will happen, no? Data communication will happen between spoke to spoke.
Yeah, the data communication will happen on spoke to spoke. What is going to happen? If I make hub as a gateway, what is going to happen? Hub is going to introduce a default route. Okay, default route on branch 102 tells that go to next stop as a hub. Now, hub will verify the destination IP address. If it is a branch 103, it uses this tunnel in order to forward the traffic.
Okay, means communication will happen, data communication will happen.
Of course, it is going to happen.
Okay.
So from the hub,
Hari, is that gateway knob is definitely required to be turned on so that the hairpinning will happen in the hub? Or even if I advertise, say example, there is a port switch below in the hub, which is introducing the default route, that hairpinning will happen?
There is nothing to do with that SD-WAN gateway.
Okay.
SD-WAN gateway is just a configurable knob. Okay, with the help of that, automatically there is a routing policy which is getting advertising the default route. Okay, this is just automation process. If you don't want, we can go to the routing policy. We can advertise a default. This is manually you can do.
Okay. Sure.
Right. So if I look at the configuration of hub and spoke, what is going to happen? It's under the workflow template. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll change the device type as a hub. We'll go ahead and we'll change the device type as a hub. The moment you try to change this device type as a hub, okay, automatically the hub is going to get the VRF targets, okay, so the communities, so the routing policies, and as well as an export VR. It is going to get all these options. Right. So now, how do you configure the hub and spoke? If I want to configure a hub and spoke, okay, what are the prerequisites? First, we need to have a hub in the network. Then we have to configure the spoke group. Then we have to configure the spokes. The spoke group is the decision maker. What type of spoke group we can configure? Either it is spoke to hub only, or spoke to spoke via hub, or spoke to spoke direct. We are going to have the 3 different flavors. Okay. So while creating the spoke group, we'll try to mention these parameters. Right. So how do you configure the spoke group? Okay, look at the configuration by going to the workflows, by selecting the spoke group, provide a name to the spoke group, select what organization, and then so to which routing instance you are implementing this type of solution. Okay, then try to select the restriction part. Either it is a spoke to hub only, you can mention this restriction part. Right. So now, for example, so in the network you have multiple hubs. Okay. So even you wanted to prioritize the hub traffic. Okay. So I can mention this hub priorities. Okay. So there's a hub one and then hub two. So for everything, I want to go with the hub one as my primary, and then so if hub one is not reachable, then I want to go with the hub two as a secondary. I can make use of this priorities. Lower the value, so that hub is going to be picked.
If we want to load balance, then
If you want to load balance, so here in the hub, you wanted to mention the load balancing. So I wanted to go simultaneously both hub one and hub two. You wanted to do this?
Yeah, I have 100 sites. For 50 sites, I want H1 as a primary,
Yeah.
and for the remaining 50 sites, I want H2 as a primary.
That is again, so what you need to do is you create this spoke group, right? Okay, I'll create two spoke groups. Okay, spoke group one, I'll mention hub one as primary. For spoke group one, I'll mention hub two as a secondary. Spoke group two, the branches which wants hub two as a primary, I'll mention this as a primary, and I'll mention hub two as a secondary. I need to create multiple spoke groups for that. The branches which wants hub one as a primary will onboard with this spoke group.
So in
The branches which wants hub two as a primary will onboard with this spoke.
so mean to say it is not directly load balancing, but by means of doing it, we are achieving the load balancing.
Yes, exactly.
sorry, I missed that. So load balancing means we need to create only two groups. This is the only facility, or
So their requirement was different, Prakash. What their requirement is, I have 100 sites, 50 sites wants
I
to
understand.
hub one. Okay,
yes, I understand. My question was I want to load balance the traffic.
Mhm.
Between
You want to load balance the traffic between the hub one
Hub.
and hub two, right?
Yeah.
Both hub one and hub two. So you wanted to, I mean, for every traffic you wanted to load balance.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's possible, right? So what I can mention is I can mention the this with help of this priority. What is going to happen? The LP value gets changed. I need to go to the routing policy and I have to make sure that both the hubs are advertising with the same LP values. That is little manual job. So if I try to do that, then we are going to get the all the routes as the two next stops, two best routes, hub one and then hub two.
Okay.
Okay, but making the load balance between the hubs, I don't think so. It's a right approach, Prakash. Some traffic via hub one, some
Yeah.
traffic via hub two. Maybe you can achieve it, but as per the design, I don't think so. It is reliable.
Yeah, understand.
So mostly people go with a DR and DC concept, right? Hub one as a DR, I mean DC, and hub two as a DR.
Yeah.
Right. So now, how do you go with the spoke group configuration? By going to the spoke group, so we'll mention the spoke group name and mention the restriction part here. After mentioning here, I'll go to the spoke configuration. When I am creating the workflow template, I'm selecting it as a spoke, and I'm selecting it as a spoke group information. Okay. So we'll start onboarding the branches. So we'll start onboarding the hub. So look at the internal things, what is going to happen internally. Now the BGP policies. Earlier we had only the one policy which is accepting everything. Now the BGP policy comes up with two options. One is, okay, two SD-WAN. Within that you are going to have the multiple policies. Okay, what does this terms telling? Okay, Versa private hub only. Accept the routes which are coming only from the Versa private hub. Okay, so the rest of the Versa private family just discard it. Okay, whatever we are trying to get it, so we are going to discard it. Okay, so kind of filtering what we are trying to do it with the help of these communities. Now, so what is going to happen? So internally on the Versa private advertisements. Okay, so if I look at the Versa private advertisements, now the spokes will set a community called 8002 on all the node advertisements to mark as a spoke node. Whatever the devices you are onboarding it as a spoke, they are going to get this configuration. What does that configuration do? Whatever the node advertisements they are trying to do, they will try to add with the community called 8000. Okay, so we are trying to set the community called 8002 for all Versa private family. Now, there is an import policy. There is an import policy on all the spokes. What does that import policy tells that? The import policy, which is matching with 8002, the action is going to be rejected. Okay. So the spokes are configured in such a way that they will advertise all the node advertisements with 8002, so that the remote spokes will receive it as advertised routes, receiving routes. While receiving the routes, it tries to match with this community. If this community is matched, it is going to reject the routes. Okay, it is going to reject the routes. So you look at the import policy here. It is rejecting Versa private spoke routes. It is rejecting Versa LAN VR routes. So it is accepting the hub, so the priority one LAN VR. Okay, so it is so adding the new import routing policies onto the spoke devices. So where it is trying to restrict the routes which are received with the help of these communities. Same case when you look at the hub, what is going to happen? Hub comes up with a specific VRF target. Hub always tries to advertise with this specific VRF target. So there is a default VRF target across all the hub and spoke implementations within this respective routing instance. Apart from that, what is going to happen? So they are going to have this a unique VRF targets as well. At the hub side and at the spoke side, what is going to happen? So the VRF export policy used to set the communities on the advertised routes. The import policy used to match the incoming routes. Okay, so in the hub and spoke only, what is going to happen? The branch VRF import policy does not match the spoke routes, and then it matches only to the hub routes. Okay. So if you take a case study here, so this will be more clear to us. Okay, so I'm going to this one of the example. So the spoke to hub only. So there is a hub, okay, branch 101. So there is a branch 102. There is a branch 103. So LAN A, LAN Z. LAN A is a local network. LAN Z is a hub network. LAN B is a local network, and then LAN Z is a hub network. So we are going to the branch 102 and we are executing the command show route routing instance Versa LAN VR. What all the routes we are able to see? There is a connected network which is nothing but 192.168.102.0/24 network. There is a BGP advertisement as well, which is nothing but branch 101. 192.168.101.0/24. The next stop overlay IP address, and I could see that interface is pointing towards as an index. Right, so I'm entering into the branch 102 and I'm executing show interface is dynamic tunnels. So here it is trying to show that the tunnels are created towards the controller, the clear text tunnel, secure tunnels, and the tunnels are created only towards the branch 101, which is a clear text as well as the secure tunnels. Now I am entering into the branch 103. I am verifying the routes. So show route routing instance Versa LAN VR. It is the connected network and then the BGP router. The connected network is 103. The BGP advertisement is 101, which is coming from this hub. If I go and verify the dynamic tunnels, show interface dynamic tunnels, it is trying to provide the controllers tunnels, so secure and so clear text. Whereas the branch tunnels, there is one clear text tunnel and there is one secure. Okay. Show interface is dynamic tunnels will try to provide you the tunnels which are created towards these branches. Okay. So there is no hubs, so there is no tunnels towards the hub and towards the other branches. Only the tunnels towards the hub. Okay, there is no tunnel towards the branches. So when I go to hub and I verify it, show route routing instance Versa LAN VR, it has got the two BGP advertisements. One is 102.network and 103.network. The next stop is 12.102, 12.103, which is indirectly connected. Okay. Then if I go and verify the dynamic tunnels, show interface is dynamic tunnel. There is a clear text tunnels, secure tunnels towards the controller, and there is a tunnels towards the branch 102. There is a tunnels towards the branch 103. Okay, hub is trying to establish the tunnels between both the branches, whereas the branches will establish the tunnel only towards the. Any questions?
Routing, we are able to see all the routes related. If I will I want to see the route of from 102 to 4103, then it will show.
No, that does not show, right? Hub has advertised only its network towards the branches.
Okay, route will also not advertise. Means,
Route will also not advertise. Okay, until and unless we go and modify the routing policy, and specifically you mentioned to advertise a default route, then it is possible.
but reachability will be there between branch 102 and 103.
Reachability in the sense WAN IP address is reachable.
No, if I want to ping between the branches.
Yes. This is WAN IP address is reachable, but there will not be any tunnel. There will not be any
Yeah,
communication.
tunnel is fine. This is for the control part,
Yes.
for data plane part.
No, that's not going to happen, right? There is no direct traffic exchange between the branches. Branch 102, 103, they are not able to communicate at all.
Yeah, but if we want to communicate between them,
We need to advertise a default route from the hub. Okay, if I try to advertise a default route from the hub, what is going to happen? The traffic.
because I have a IPT set up and I have a telephone means not IPT, but if I want for some purpose I want to communicate between them.
That's what. From hub, we'll advertise a default route towards the branch. Okay. So
Okay.
the branch will forward everything towards the hub.
Okay.
Now, hub will forward the traffic towards the branch 10. There is no direct communication between the branches. It
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
via hub.
Yeah. But by default, they will not talk to each other. But if you want to talk,
Yeah, you can make that configuration.
it will via hub. Okay.